Hey YouTube! Today I wanted to share with you another knife. This is really exciting because I've never shown a Mayo on camera before. So we have is a Tom Mayo TMX, and this is what he calls a mid-tech knife. Now it's interesting because what Tom calls a mid-tech knife and what the rest of the knife world calls a mid-tech knife might be different. So according to Tom's literature on his website, this model was made from CNC'd handles and CNC'd carbon fiber inlay, and then he mated them together, and then hand contoured and hand finished the knife. Now, some people might call that a custom, but Tom is one to call it a mid-tech, and you can make that distinction in your own mind, what you'd like to call that. But what is certainly clear to anybody is that this knife is really phenomenal, and if you have owned one or if you've handled one, I think you will understand that it is up there with some of his best work. And I really enjoy this knife, and a lot of that is due to just simply the shape of the knife. I didn't think much of it in pictures, but a friend of mine, Stevens, lent this to me, and I've really grown to love the shape and to love this knife. So what I think is first interesting is the handle. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I'm a fan of parallel lines on my handles, and this one is very close to parallel, which again I'm quite a fan of, with the flat spine with a slight taper here, and nearly parallel handle portion down at the bottom for your fingers, and then of course with a prominent index finger guard or index finger choil. It really melts in your hand very nicely. It's extremely comfortable in extended usage from my testing. And then this portion here, you can either put 3 or 4 fingers in. Mostly I've cut like this. However, if for some reason you decided that this is more comfortable for you, you can certainly get all 4 fingers in here reasonably comfortably. Another thing that I really like about the handles is that Tom hand contours his handles, and it makes for an extremely comfortable handling. We can see the contouring here, that it kind of curves like this. Same thing with the butt of the knife with this lanyard here. And the way the the carbon fiber is mated into the titanium is done impeccably well. There's no gaps, there's no discernible difference between the carbon fiber and the titanium except for the texture change. And it's interesting because while this is carbon fiber, it's not smooth like some of the other carbon fibers that we see. It actually has some texture to it, and it appears that Tom has done something more than just milled it in order to get this textured appearance. And you can see how when the light hits it in different ways, you can almost see the different valleys and peaks in the carbon fiber. And I think that lends a lot to just the aesthetics of the knife, as well as the handling of the knife. It's a very comfortable. It's a very comfortable material. It has a little bit more traction than just the bee-blasted titanium by itself, and it's just handsome looking. And of course, we'll see here that it's a flow-through design with the up front we have the pivot and the stop pin, and then simply two standoffs near the butt of the knife. And then of course the pocket clip, which along with the rest of the handle is bee-blasted titanium and is a very slender, slim, and not ostentatious. It's a very attractive, simple knife, and I think that's really why I like it. I don't like very flashy knives. Simple is really what I like. So I showed earlier the Mayo logo here, and this one has 1982 to 2007. So I believe this knife was made in 2007 as in his 25th year of knife making. It has a beautiful hand rubbed CPM 154 blade, which has a very elegant and slight recurve to it. You can see here on the back it has the CPM 154 stamping, as well as serial number 14. Of course, we have the thumb disc here, as you've been looking at. If you're a fan of jimping, you're going to be a fan of the jimping on this particular knife. I don't know how Tom does his jimping grinds, but he does it very well. It's a very sharp jimping. So like I said, if this is something that you are a fan of, if you'd like to have this on your knife, you are going to be very happy with the way Tom does his jimping. The blade is extremely sharp, as any custom knife should be, and I believe it's actually hollow ground from nearly from all the way at the top of the knife here, and then just barely below the top of the whole length of the blade, which brings to a very acute edge, and like I said, it cuts extremely well. And Tom's work is phenomenal. So he's famously known for his attention to craftsmanship, attention to detail, and the secondary market reflects that detail and reflects his attention. And I'm not sure if it's so a lot of his knives are around $2,000, and I'm not sure if I would pay $2,000 for his knives. But what he charges is from the maker is extremely reasonable and very fair, in my opinion. We can see the lockup here. Overall, it's just a really, and it's an attractive knife. It's comfortable to use. Like I said, some extended cardboard cutting led me just to really fall in love with this knife. It cuts extremely well. That recurve bites into media, just beautifully, just nicely. What I like is the attention to details I mentioned. Tom's known for that. So when we have the blade open and the detent ball is actually riding on the blade, it's going to be hard to tell, but oh, we can see it there. The lock bar, the lock bar is just above, just a little bit higher than the rest of the handle. And then when the detent ball closes into the detent hole, we can see is that lock bar is just going to mate perfectly to the rest of the handle. So it's exactly the same height, and I think that's that attention to detail is really what is impressive about Tom's knives. In addition to just the elegant simplicity and the handsomeness that he makes his knives with. So I'll throw this up against another knife that I'm a fan of, another recurve. This is Kirby Lambert's Inferno model. We can see that how can we do this? Let's do it like that. So I like to line up pivot to pivot here, or I'll try to do tip to tip. We can see that maybe it's not so easy to tell in the viewfinder or in the camera, but the Inferno is just a tad bit longer. The blade's a tad bit longer than the Mayo. How can I do this? Yeah, let's do this. So the Inferno is just a little bit longer. The handles are going to be similar, but the Kirby Lambert still edges out in length here. And just again, another a great knife maker is Kirby. So let me compare it to some more knives that more common knives that somebody might have. Here's a Spyderco Endura, which is going to be reasonably longer. The Endura's got like a 4 or 4.1 inch blade, something like this, maybe just shy of 4 inches. And then another common production knife is the CQC7 by Emerson Knives, and it's just a little bit. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the Mayo TMX. So just give one more quick look. I love how he hides or sinks the screws down to the handle so they don't pop up at all and you don't feel them. It gives the handles a very nice, clean feel in the hand. Love the finishing on the blade. Just super attractive. Alright guys, any questions or comments, please leave them. Give me a thumbs up if you think I did a good job. And as always, Be dressed to play and geared to slaughter. See ya.